Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for PrizePicks, sportsbooks, all that good stuff. All these videos, they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports with one S. I'll just have it linked down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. Anything you need, you can ask me questions about the slate. You can talk strategy here with other people. So that'd be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right here. So let's take a look at my lineups from tonight. It was pretty good night overall for me. Let me see if I can find main slate. Come on, man. Here's main slate. Find showdown. We'll start with showdown. I mean, lineup just kind of builds itself, right? Don't gotta talk about that too much. Night slate was pretty good. Once again, lineup just kind of built itself. And then main slate. This is my main slate lineup. So I was debating a pivot, and the pivot was I originally had Fred VanVleet and Daniel Gafford over Kyle Kuzma and Delano Banton. But I thought to myself, I think it's going to be a really good opportunity that Simons does not play tonight. So I played for that late news. I made that swap. I think it was the correct play. Delano Banton was probably, outside of Bones Highland and Kyrie Irving, I thought Delano Banton was the best play on the slate. Him, Scoot Henderson, in my opinion, at their ownership were some of the best plays in the slate. Delano Banton, I think, played 40 minutes tonight when it was a really good point per minute guy, too. Just absolute floor outcome from him. But I feel good about the way I played it. I think it was the correct swap. Just really unfortunate run out there. If you played Scoot, they trolled his minutes. He still got there, but really unfortunate there. But really good night overall. Hopefully you guys had pretty good night as well. And if you're looking for more in-depth content, DFS content, PrizePicks, sportsbooks. PrizePicks and sportsbooks did not go so good today. I think I lost like $200 on Devin Booker getting hooked, his PRA. Some other picks did not hit. So books, PrizePicks was not too great, but DFS definitely was. All right, let's get into this slate. So we'll go backwards for today. So, there's going to be no late swap tomorrow. So you definitely have to keep that in mind when you're building your lineups. And as always, when we have these no late swap days on Reddit, I will give my thoughts before a lock. I will make an update on who I think is going to be in, who I think is going to be out for the slate. A lot of news has been coming in pretty early, but I will let you guys know who I think will be in and out. Like today, I made an update. I'm expecting Kawhi to play and Harden to sit, and I was correct there. So check that out. I'll give you guys my thoughts on who I think plays, who I think does not play. Oh, we had good nights in Discord too, but I'm just going to keep it rolling. All right, Atlanta Jalen Johnson is questionable, and Onyeka Okongwu is going to remain out. And we just got updates. I believe Bogdan Bogdanovic is going to be questionable as well. So let's go over to Underdog. I believe, Bogdan Bogdanovic is now listed as questionable too. That's going to be pretty important. So if he is out, I would assume, and Jalen Johnson is out, I would assume they go with the starting lineup of like DeJounte Murray, Vit Krejci, DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, and who started? It was one of Garrison Matthews, or I believe it was Garrison. It was Wesley Matthews. So I would assume that would be the starting lineup. With that being said, I think regardless if DeJounte Murray has players in or out, he looks phenomenal. I absolutely love him going up against Utah here. Played 43 minutes going up against Portland. It's a really good spot here going up against Utah. So I am really high on DeJounte Murray this slate. If these guys are out, even better. The entire offense is just going to be DeJounte Murray if these guys are out. If they're in, I still really like him. So I am really high on DeJounte Murray for this slate. If Jalen Johnson and Bogdan Bogdanovic are in, definitely hurts the minutes. Could hurt the minutes on a guy like Clint Capella. But it's a really good spot. Jalen Johnson is out. I do like Clint Capella at 6.2K. Even if he's in, he's still firmly in play. Good point per minute guy that's just a high 20s minutes at a good spot going up against Utah. So I do like Capella there. And then we'll see about a limit. I know it's his ankle. He's missed a decent amount of time. So we'll see there. But Bogdan Bogdanovic, we know Utah, they give up a ton of shooting, ton of three-point shots. I like him quite a bit at 6'7". If everyone's in, DeAndre Hunter's fine. And then, Bruno Fernando, he'll get the backup 5, a decent value of 4.3K. And then, like I said, if everyone's out, Vic Krejci's playable if they can continue to start him, but he's not going to be that good a point per minute in this lineup. Did play 31 minutes last game, but if everyone's out, then like if Bogdan Bogdanovic is out, I do like Vic Krejci quite a bit for value. Then he's going to be like the number 3 on offense, right? It's going to be DeJounte, it's going to be DeAndre Hunter, then it's going to be Vic Krejci, right? He can stuff the stat sheet too. So yeah, I would like Vic Krejci for value if all these guys are out. And then I would like DeAndre Hunter a ton at 5.6K. He'd have to do a ton. He'd have to play huge minutes, right? So yeah, there'd definitely be a decent amount to like here. And then this is just going to be a mess for Utah here. So Markkanen out, Clarkson out. We have Taylor Hendricks is questionable. So if Hendricks remains out, we have Dunn out as well. Starting lineup isn't going to change. It's just going to be Colin Sexton, John Collins, Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh, and I believe they started Lucas Manchich. They went Walker Kessler back to the bench. I guess they could move Walker Kessler back into the starting lineup. If they do that, I do like me some Walker Kessler at 5K. If they go with that same starting lineup of like Bryce Sensabaugh and Lucas Manchich, you could definitely consider both of them. And then I'm really high on the main 3 guys here with everyone out. Colin Sexton, John Collins, Keontae George. I really like all 3. A lot more usage, a lot more minutes to go around with no Markkanen, no Clarkson. Really good matchup here going up against Atlanta. I am really, really high on those main 3 guys, especially with Clarkson out. And then I think THT is going to have to play a decent amount of minutes at 3.9K. I really like him for value. And then if Hendricks is in, it's going to hurt like Bryce. It's going to hurt Smanchich. Keep an eye on if they keep Smanchich in the starting lineup. They can always go back to like a Walker Kessler, right? But yeah, there's a lot to like here with Utah. Moving on to Denver, I mean, I think Jokic stands out as one of the best spend-ups on the slate going up against the Spurs. Looking at the spend-ups on the slate, we don't have much. Just like Jokic, it's Wemby, DeJounte, and just not much else, right? So Jokic, I think, is your overall probably best spend-up on the slate. I like the spot here. Obviously, he has triple-double upside. He has a high floor. He has high ceiling. So he's going to play big minutes as long as the game stays competitive. So yeah, Jokic looks phenomenal. But a guy that I am really, really high on here is Jamal Murray at 8.1K. His usage rate's gone up of late. He's also playing close to 40 minutes. I think he's too cheap. I think he should be like an 8.5K player, especially in this matchup. He's been on a tear of late. Like the spot for him too. It's basically just give the ball to Jamal, give the ball to Jokic, get out the way. So I really like both the top 2 guys here for Denver. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, they're just more filler plays for me. I think Aaron Gordon probably looks a bit better point per dollar. MPJ a bit better straight up. If you do need a cheap value, I will mention Peyton Watson. He's been playing high teens to low 20s minutes, solid point per minute. It's fine, but I think some better value definitely will open up. Moving on to the Spurs here. So Victor's fine at 10.5K. Not the best spot here going up against Jokic, but he's been playing around 30 minutes, which makes him firmly in play. I think I'd rather just get up to like a Jokic, though. Devin Vassell at 7.4. He's been playing big minutes. He has a ceiling, just not the best spot. Fine tournament play just because the minutes and upside are there with him. I think everyone else is probably priced right, though. I don't think I like too much else here. I think Sochan's priced right. Trey Jones is priced right. Keldon Johnson's probably my 3rd favorite outside of Vassell and Victor Wembanyama, just because he'll play 30 minutes. Off the bench, he'll have a higher usage rate as well, and he does have a ceiling. He's probably my 3rd favorite of the 3. But I'm not going to go out of my way to prioritize any of these other guys. Champagny, his minutes, I mean, I believe Wemby was out last game, right? Someone was out. Maybe not. But I'm not going to play Champagny on the slate. I don't think I can do it. But he's playable, I guess. Keldon was out last game, that's why. But yeah, let's move on to the Clippers. So James Harden's uncertain. It is a back-to-back. I guess we could see someone else sit here, but if it's the same situation tonight as it is tomorrow, or same situation tomorrow as it is tonight, then we know what to do. We're playing Bones Highland. He would stand out as the best value play on the slate. Terrence Mann would be a solid value. Norm Powell would be firmly in play at 5.2K. He had a big game tonight. He'd have to do a lot more offensively. He'd get a minutes bump as well. Zubac, we know he's going to play around 30 minutes. I have no issue with him at 5.4K. He's a decent option. And then Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, both look really, really good whenever one of these guys are out. Because when they're all 3 healthy, they're going to dominate usage, right? But one's out there, just so much more usage to go around. So even not in a good matchup, I'd definitely be pretty high on this team once again if Harden remains out. If, another one remains out, I'll just make updates. We've been getting a lot of news before lock. I'll make updates on Reddit. And then if they're all in, it's kind of the same situation as normal, right? I do want to see what the minutes ended up being for everyone tonight, though. We can look together because Popcorn Machine's not updated yet. So Bones Holland 32, Zubats 31, that's good. Quiet 34, I believe they lost minutes. Blowout. Mir 22 off the bench, Norm Powell 28 off the bench. Okay, cool. So let's click that. And yeah, going to be pretty much the same as last night or tonight. There's definitely going to be a lot to like there, especially Bones Highland. Moving on to the Pelicans, not the best spot here going up against Clippers. Don't like too much here. I think everyone's priced right, especially for the roles, especially in this matchup. If you want to go to anyone, I guess it would be Zion, but I don't like too much here. They're all just more contrarian plays for me, large field tournament plays. I guess Jonas Valanciunas at 5.1K. Minutes haven't been great, but I mean, if you get him playing 20 minutes at this price point, sure, he could have a good game, but yeah, don't love too much. Nance's minutes have been up of late. I guess he's a fine value at 3.6K, but yeah, if you get like a situation where Jonas gets extended or like Nance gets in foul trouble and you get over 20 minutes from Jonas at this price point, I mean, he could nuke. So I guess definitely intrigued by Jonas and GPPs at that price point, but not going to be really playing anyone there for the Pelicans. Moving on to Orlando. Good spot here. I do like Franz and I do like Paolo at their price points. I think Franz a bit easier to get to at 7.2K, has better eligibility with shooting forward eligibility as well. But I think both look solid in their respective roles and the respective price points, especially because the matchup's good. So yeah, I think both look good. They're both going to dominate usage. Both are stat sheet stuffers. So like both the top two guys here. I do like Wendell Carter Jr. as well at 5.5K. His minutes have been pretty secure of late, around playing high 20s minutes. We know he's also a good point per minute guy. I like the spot as well. Does have double upside. So yeah, I think Wendell Carter Jr. is solid at 5.5K. I don't think I get to much else here. All the guards are healthy. Suggs will play the most, but yeah, they kind of eat into each other's minutes. So I don't think I'll be prioritizing any of these guards here. So unfortunate stuff with RJ Barrett. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Just unfortunate stuff there. Big news to keep an eye on here is Gary Trent. If he remains out, you're going to get a starting lineup of Emmanuel Quickley, Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, Grady Dick, and OJ Abaji, and you're going to see kind of a bit of Jonte Porter off the bench, some Nwora off the bench, and some McDaniels off of the bench, I believe, as well. With that being said, Quickly, he's going to be their go-to guy. If everyone's going to fade because it's a tough matchup up against Orlando, I'm going to like him even more. I keep saying it that people just go out of their way to fade players, even with the team to themselves, just because it's a bad matchup. If that's going to lower the ownership, then yeah, good. I think Quickly's a really, really good play with RJ Barrett out. He's the team to himself right now. He's handling the ball. He's doing everything. I still think he's a bit too cheap. We know he's a really good point per minute guy. So if everyone's just going to avoid because of the matchup, I think it's even better, right? So I do like Quickly in GPPs. Kelly Olynyk, I think, is solid at 7K as well. He should play big minutes, good point per minute guy. Jonte Porter's an okay value. He'll probably be a bit over-owned. I mean, he was Giga Chalk this game. Definitely outlier performances. I think I'll let other people chase. If he's low-owned, I'd rather take shots there. But if he's going to project to be chalk once again, I'm just going to fade Jonte Porter. Gary Trent, if he's out, you're going to get, like I said, Grady Dick and OJ Abaji in the starting lineup. I think Dick would be a nice bounce-back candidate. He shot the ball really, really badly in the last game. We know he's also solid point per minute, so I would like Dick as a bounce-back candidate here. And then OJ Abaji would be playable. And then if Trent's in, I like Trent, and then it's going to hurt Dick, etc. Moving on to Miami, so we have a really good spot here going up against Detroit. I'm pretty high on the main guys. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Terry Rozier, I think are all three pretty good point per dollar plays. They're just playing huge minutes right now. They're running a really tight rotation. Terry Rozier in competitive games these days at a foul trouble is playing close to 40 minutes. Bam Adebayo's in a good spot going up against Detroit. I like his ceiling in GPPs. Jimmy Butler's been turning it on of late, except for these last two games. He's playing big minutes, so I think all three of these guys look good for GPPs. I don't think they'll get too much ownership. So I like Butler. I like Bam. I like Rozier. I think Duncan is a decent value. Now the price point's down a bit. He's been playing over 30 minutes. We know he is the ceiling when he's hitting his shots. Pretty low floor, though, obviously. I think Caleb Martin should see around 30 minutes off of the bench. I think he is a reasonable value. Same with Jamie. And Jovic, basically a spot starter, but playable. All right, moving on to Detroit. So I'm going to keep saying it. Detroit's running a really tight rotation right now, except for last game when I had Cade's fantasy score and he just told Sasser to close the game. But yeah, if Cade's out, Marcus Sasser becomes one of the best value plays in the slate. Would absolutely love him. Would absolutely love Jaden Ivey at 6.2K. He'd be one of the best plays in the mid-range. Duran doesn't really change too much, but he's fine anyway. Simone gets you used to bump with like him quite a bit. Isaiah Stewart's fine. Prefer Simone though. Might have to dust off some more bodies, but yeah, there'll be a lot to like here on Detroit if these guys, or if Cade is out, sorry. If Cade's in, then I have interest in Cade and GPPs just because the minutes, the usage rate's been up of late. Ivy would definitely have interest in GPPs at 6.2K as well. I think they'd be decent point per dollar options. And then Simone's just playing huge minutes right now. I have no issue if you want to keep playing Simone. He's just playing 40 minutes a game. He's a guy that's going to go out there. He's a guy that's going to shoot the ball 15 plus times. So I have no issue with Simone. Stewart would be your pivot in tournaments. And then I don't know if I go to much else. But yeah, Marcus Sasser, if Cade's out, really, really good play. Moving on to Phoenix here. Back-to-back. I think everyone's been playing back-to-backs, I'm pretty sure. I guess we could see Booker sit. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to go under the assumption that everyone's in for now. Nurkic got up to 31 minutes tonight. I don't think he would have closed. I think they would have closed small, but we'll see. But Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, I think they both seem priced right. It's a really good spot here, but I think they're both pretty good plays. Bradley Beal, I think, is a decent play. He's been on of late. Really like the spot here going up against Charlotte. Just can the Hornets keep this game competitive? So I do like both the top three guys here in Beal, Booker, Durant for GPPs. I think Beal will probably be the easiest to get to just because of the price point. I don't like much else, though. Nurkic is fine for tournaments. Really good spot here going up against Charlotte. The minutes were up tonight, which is good to see as well with Eric Gordon out. If he remains out, definitely a chance that he could play a bit more up against Charlotte here. Moving on to Charlotte, they're basically fully healthy outside the guys that have been out. Grant Williams has gone back to the bench here. So I think Mann and Midgic both look similar. Like if one's going to be more popular than the other, I'll just go the lower end option. I think Midgic is probably a bit safer. He's doing a bit more of the ball handling right now, so he's stuffing the stat sheet a bit more. But if he's going to be more popular than a guy like Trey Mann, I'll just play Trey Mann. I think both are fine options. Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller are decent. And then I don't like much else. Grant Williams going back to the bench could hurt. It's going to hurt Nick Richards' minutes. He was getting up over 30. That's not going to happen anymore. So, yeah, I think main standouts here, I think the guards look fine. Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, decent. So that's going to wrap it up for the slate. Hopefully you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.